I can code and I don't use After Effects, but watch what I just did with one prompt. Every one of these was made with a single text prompt, no After Effects, no design skills, and dropped straight into CapCut. Let me show you exactly how on my last video clip. People always ask how I actually make my videos, so here's my whole process. It comes down to 3 steps. I plan the idea, write a script, and edit all in CapCut. As you can see, it is pretty boring without the graphics, but by the end it's going to have 3 motion graphics on it that normally cost money or need motion designer. There are really just 2 tools I'm going to use. Claude Code, which writes the animation, and the Remotion, which turns it into a video file. Setting them up only takes a few minutes, and I've put together all the steps and all the prompts in a free guide in the description. And if you ever get stuck along the way, you can just chat with Claude and ask it what to do next. So let's jump straight into creating. First up is the graphic every tutorial needs, and the one CapCut's text presets always make look cheap. A clean, animated step list. Like always, it starts with an idea. I'd seen some glass tab cards I liked on the Pinterest, so I saved one as a reference. I open Fresh Chat in Claude, drop in the reference, tell it what I want, and I also gave it the color palette I built for this project. Claude writes back a full prompt that's already optimized for Claude Code and Remotion. And yeah, every prompt you see in this video is free in the description. Copy that, jump into Claude Code, paste it, hit enter and let it work. It will ask you for a couple of permissions along the way, just confirm them. When it's done, it opens Remotion Studio right in your browser. If it doesn't pop up on its own, just type run Remotion or reopen Remotion in Chrome and it reopens. Pick the project and hit play. Honestly, already looks pretty good, but I want to push it a little bit more. And this is the part which with the presets you just can't do. So go back to Claude Code and I will type, please make cards come to screen 2 times slower and make the cards in a perspective view. So the beginning of the text and card looks like it's closer to the camera and the other side of the card looks smaller and away from the camera. I'm just typing like I would talk to it. Let's see. Yes, that's it. I do not need any more corrections. When you're happy, hit render, confirm, and once it's done, click the project, 3 dots, and download it to save it to your computer. Now it's clean video file on your computer and ready for CapCut. This next one is where CapCut creators usually get stuck. Overlays with transparency. Watch what transparent background actually buys you. For the next graphic, I'm going to start with Claude again to get the right prompt for Claude Code and Remotion. Just like before, I'll import the reference image I found on Pinterest and write. Please write me a prompt for loading timer like in reference picture. Background should be transparent. The circle represents the full hour, 60 minutes, but timer counts only to 52. The message is under an hour. Circle should be glowing in this color. When Claude generates the prompt, simply copy it and paste it into Claude Code, then hit enter. After a minute or two, the process will finish and Remotion will automatically open in your browser. Our project is called Loading Timer Under Hour. Let's see what we got. Honestly, it looks pretty good already. The timer animation works, the counter stops at 52 minutes like we wanted, and the transparent background is perfect for using inside of CapCut. But there is one problem. The circle is still orange, even though we specifically ask for a different color. No problem, let's go back to Claude Code and type. Looking good, but circular glowing color is still orange. Please change it to blue. Hit enter and wait for Claude to update the project. A few seconds later, Remotion refresh automatically. And there we go. Now, the glowing circle is using the correct blue color, the animation still looks smooth and it's much closer to the original design we were aiming for. At this point, I don't need any more changes. I'll simply render the composition, download the final video, and it's ready to drop straight into CapCut with a transparent background. But I want to show you something that usually happens when you render videos with a transparent background. Let me import the first timer into CapCut. And look what happens. Can you see that strange glow around the circle? Instead of looking clean and sharp, there's this blurry halo around the edges. It becomes even more noticeable when you resize the graphic or place it over the different backgrounds. This is actually pretty common when exporting transparent graphics with glow effects. So here's what I did. I simply took a screenshot of the problem, went back into Claude Code, attached the screenshot and asked it to fix the issue. A few moments later, Claude updated the project and generated a new version. Let's import the new timer. And now look at the difference. This one is perfect. The edges are clean, the glow looks exactly how it should be, and there are no weird transparency artifacts around the circle. The best part is that now I can resize it as much as I want and place it anywhere on the screen without worrying about quality issues. And this is probably my favorite thing about this workflow. If something doesn't look right, I don't have to start over and spend 20 minutes trying to fix it. I simply show Claude what's wrong, explain the issue in plain English, and let it regenerate a better version. And the one I'm most excited about, this is the kind of thing people assume needs 3D software. Open a new session and write or paste the prompt. I'm going to use my own prompt, but if you want, you can copy it from the description. I'll also add all three logos, Claude, CapCut, and Remotion as a reference. Hit enter and wait for the process to finish. Once it's done, it should automatically open Remotion in your browser. If it doesn't, just ask Claude to open it for you. So we are here in Remotion. Let's see what we got. As you can see, the app icons don't contain the actual logos yet, and the folder isn't using that lime glowing color that we wanted. So let's jump back into Claude Code and make a few adjustments. I'm going to write, please do these changes. 1. Make glass folder in lime glowing color like reference picture. 2. Make folder and icons a little smaller so they don't go out of the screen. 3. Put Claude, CapCut and Remotion logos into icons that goes out of the folder. Use logos that I have gave you in the first prompt. I will also attach a reference image from my thumbnail so Claude has a better idea of what I'm trying to achieve. Hit enter and let's see what happens. A few seconds later, Remotion refreshes automatically and that's already looking much better. The folder has now that bright lime glow, the composition fits nicely inside the frame, and the logos are finally where they should be. Instead of manually rebuilding everything in CapCut, I'm just describing to the Claude what it needs to be changed and it fixes. Making the graphics is the easy part. Making them look like they belong in your edits is what separates this from a stock template. Here's my CapCut workflow. So let's make this boring talking head video a little more engaging. I've already imported all three graphics into CapCut: the loading timer, the lime glass folder, and the glass step cards. Now it's just a matter of placing them where they help tell the story. Let's listen to the video first and figure out where to place the first graphic. People always ask how I actually make my videos, so here's my whole process. It comes down to 3 steps. I think the glass step cards should go somewhere around here. Let's see. 3 steps. I plan the idea, write a script, and edit all in CapCut. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll just trim it a little bit so it doesn't stay on the screen for too long. And we can make it look even better by adding a simple entrance animation. Go to Animations, open the In tab and choose Fade In. Steps. I plan the idea, write a script, and edit all in CapCut. Nice. And I do all of it with just a couple of apps. Right after that, I place the lime glass folder animation. I think it's a little too long, so I'll trim the beginning and drag it over to the left side of the screen like this. I'll also scale it up a little so it's easier to see. 3 steps. I plan the idea, write a script, and edit all in CapCut. And I do all of it with just a couple of apps. Then I'll cut it again right here when I start talking about the next thing. When I started, one video took me the whole day, but now I'm done in less than an hour. One video took me the whole day, but now let's add the timer. I think it should go somewhere around here. Whole day, but now I'm done in less than an hour. What I'm going to do first is speed it up a little. Let's try 1.5 speed. But now I'm done in less than an hour. Actually, maybe a bit faster. That looks much better now. I'll make it smaller and place it in the upper right corner. Now I want the timer to stand out a little more from the background. A simple trick is to add a black video layer underneath. So let's grab a black stock video and place it directly below the timer. Trim it to exactly the same length. Then go to Video, Blend, and create a subtle fade-in effect. At the very beginning of the black video, add a keyframe for opacity. Move forward about 7 frames and add another keyframe. Now go back to the first keyframe and set the opacity to 0. Then select the second keyframe and increase the opacity to around 70%. It's a tiny detail, but it adds a lot of visual focus. Watch what happens. See that? The dark background fades in behind the timer and instantly make it much easier to notice. Now I'll trim both layers a little bit so they fit the timer better. And that's it! In just a few minutes we have changed a pretty basic talking head video into something that's much more dynamic and visually engaging. Let's watch the final result. People always ask how I actually make my videos, so here's my whole process. It comes down to 3 steps. I plan the idea, write a script, and edit all in CapCut. And I do all of it with just a couple of apps. When I started, one video took me the whole day, but now I'm done in less than an hour. Simple as that, and the more you do it, the faster it gets. 3 graphics, all from text prompts, all living inside CapCut. No After Effects, no design background, and nothing that looks like presets everyone else is using. Every graphic you just saw on that clip, the steps, the apps, the timer, was made with the exact prompts I showed you. Prompts and setup guide are free in the description. Let me know in the comments which graphic you like the most.